Have you ever spent hours creating something only to feel like no one even noticed? Yeah, that's been my story. The story of an unsuccessful artist. But wait, don't scroll yet. This isn't one of those sad, I gave up on my dream stories. No, this is more like a how I turned my shrimp back into a human kind of story. You'll see what I mean. Let's go back to 2019. Pre COVID, pre chaos, pre, well, everything. I was still studying, life was normal, and I just started my little art journey. I didn't really have a plan. I would just draw whatever inspired me portraits, random things, maybe even my breakfast if it looked aesthetic enough. And then I did what every excited new artist does. I made an Instagram account. Of course, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even know what niche meant. I just thought I'll post art and boom, people will find me. Spoiler alert, they did not. The name of my art page? Oh, it was so unique. At least that's why my sister and I thought. We were like, this name sounds different. People are gonna remember it. And then, few years later, when I started reading about social media growth strategies, I was like, oh no, my art name was basically a tongue twister. You know it's bad when even you have to spell your own username twice to people? But anyway, back then I wasn't thinking about followers or algorithms. I was just exploring. I tried everything: 3D modeling, 2D art, geometric designs, traditional art. Basically, I was like a buffet of random creativity. And then I stumbled upon Paintable CC's 1 week portrait challenge. Now listen, at that time I had zero idea how digital painting worked. I didn't even have a tablet or a stylus. I just thought, yep, I'll do it on my laptop. Wait, with a mouse? How hard can it be? Oh boy, famous last words. One day my back hurts. Day 2, my neck hurts. Day 3, I've officially transformed into a shrimp. Like literally, my back posture looked like the letter C. But I was determined. I would wake up early before college just to keep drawing. I wanted to give up so many times, but something in me said, no, finish it. And guess what? I did. A bit late, yes, but I completed my first portrait. And honestly, I was so proud. Like that small, tired version of me sitting hunched over a laptop with a mouse, she was glowing inside. That's the moment I fell in love with portrait art. That's where my real journey began. Of course, it didn't stop there because once you fall in love with art, you want to take it everywhere. Even when I traveled, I wanted to paint. But carrying a laptop and mouse on the bus? Yeah, no. So I started experimenting with phone apps. I downloaded, deleted, downloaded again. I must have tried 100 of them until finally I found Sketchbook app. And oh, that felt like magic. That's when I realized you don't always need fancy tools. Sometimes it's just about that crazy urge to create anywhere, anytime. So here's where things get interesting. Now that I had the Sketchbook app, I thought, okay, I'm unstoppable. Except I didn't have any stylus. And back then I was way too hesitant to ask my parents for one. You know that feeling when you really want something but also don't want to sound like, Mom, Dad, can I have this tiny pen that costs half a kidney? Yeah, that was me. So I did what any broke but determined artist would do. I used my finger, my actual finger. And let me tell you, the struggle was real. My screen had more fingerprints than a crime scene. My eyes were straining, my finger was sore, and half the time my lines looked like noodles. But I kept going. Because you know what? That's what passion looks like. Slightly blurry lines and a very tired wrist. I explored the app like my life depended on it, and then one fine day, the app crashed. Yep, everything gone. My sketches, my progress, my soul. That moment hit me hard. I just sat there staring at my blank screen like, wow, so this is what heartbreak feels like. But then enters the hero of our story, Ibis Painted. Yes, the app I still use today. This app was chef's kiss. It had layers, brushes, blending modes, and it was free. I mean, who needs a superhero when you have an app that auto saves your art? Of course, I was still struggling to draw properly with my finger. It's like trying to eat soup with a fork. Possible? But why? And then an idea flashed. What if I import my traditional sketches and paint over them digitally? That's when things changed. I started combining my pencil work with digital painting, experimenting with brushes, colors, lighting. Basically, I was doing digital art without even realizing I would invent my own weird workflow. And honestly, it worked. My portrait started to look good, like actual good. I was proud. But here's the plot twist. My following did not agree. It just sat there chilling. I mean, I was improving as an artist, but apparently Instagram's algorithm didn't get the memo. So, did what everyone does in that phase. I became a student of the Grow on Instagram University. You know, the 100 reels, 200 videos, and 300 secret tricks they don't want you to know. Yeah, I tried them all. Post at 9 a.m., use 30 hashtags, engage for 20 minutes, comment fire on 5 random posts, manifest followers with the full moon. Nothing worked. So I thought, okay, let's change the strategy. I'll start a YouTube channel because maybe people will find me there, get impressed, and follow me on Instagram. Or maybe my Insta followers will go to YouTube. Or maybe both. Yeah, no. I followed every holy grail YouTube growth hack, the perfect titles, thumbnails, the keywords, the tags, and then one day I looked my subscriber count 83. 83 people, which to be honest is not zero, but my account was just frozen. No matter what I posted, it just wouldn't move. And then when it hit me, maybe success isn't just about numbers. Maybe it's about creating even when no one's watching. But yeah, at that time I didn't know that yet. I just thought, great, maybe I really am an unsuccessful artist. So, what kept me going despite all these failures? Honestly, sketching had become my escape. It didn't matter if I was happy, sad, anxious, or frustrated. The moment my pencil touched paper, the world just quieted down. Sketching wasn't about followers or likes anymore. It was therapy. It was peace. I would draw every single day, sometimes without even realizing how much time had passed. And before I knew it, I had filled up sketchbook after sketchbook, each page like a tiny journal entry of my emotions. And of course, being me, I thought, why not post them? So I did. Then came another phase, the entrepreneur era. Print on demand shops were trending like crazy. Everyone was selling art on Redbubble, Etsy, Society6, and I thought, let's do it. Maybe this is where things will finally work out. Spoiler alert, no sales, no traction. Etsy even charged me more than I earned, so basically, I was paying them to ignore me. I was frustrated, tired of trying, tired of hoping, so I did what felt easier at that time. I just quit. I deleted my YouTube channel, I stopped posting on Instagram, I shut down my shops. And then life moved on. I graduated, got a job, and art quietly became this little part of me I didn't talk about anymore. Until one day a friend asked me, Hey, aren't you on Instagram? I hesitated for a second, then gave my old ID. To my surprise, a few of them actually checked that out and said, your art is really good. And that tiny bit of encouragement, it hit something on me. After a few weeks, I thought, you know what, let's start again. So I reopened my Instagram, started posting again, not because I wanted to grow, but because I missed creating. This time I wasn't chasing algorithms. I was chasing joy. And slowly something changed me. I may not have learned the language of social media, but I learned the language of art. I found my style, my rhythm, and my peace. Fast forward 4 to 5 years, here I am with a new YouTube channel. This one, a new Instagram account, march.scribbles. And yes, I still have my old one too. And you know what? I've decided something. I'll keep posting, even if the algorithm sabotages me. Because I finally understood. I don't create to go viral, I create to remember. 20 years from now, when I look back at my old sketches, I don't want to see unseen posts. I want to see memories, pages filled with everything I felt, learned, and lived. That's why I want. Not fame, not numbers, just that quiet little smile when I look at my art someday and say, yeah, I made all that. So if you're an artist watching this, feeling stuck, unseen, or unsuccessful, remember this. You're not failing, you're growing. And sometimes growth just takes longer than we expect. Keep drawing, keep painting, keep creating because the world doesn't need another viral post. It needs your story. So, the story of an unsuccessful artist, but maybe not so unsuccessful after all.